axe hacking, machete chopping, head crushing, corkscrewing.
I would say give them a chance.
It's not Amadeus.
But they're not supposed to be either. Angry wood chipper kills candy bar boy. Flare to the mouth. It's just goofy.
What the hell's wrong with you, man?
I know, right? Yeah, having somebody lit on fire like that, you don't see that anymore.
Ben, because this ride's going to be bumpy.
So join us every Friday for our new video.
I can't. Does it look good? Because I can't see without my glasses. Hey movie junkies, welcome back to Twin Flicks, where we always are celebrating the magic of movies and most importantly, physical media with you. Now today we're talking about Avatar. Avatar came out in 4K just recently, and I had the Avatar 3-disc special edition that included all 3 cuts of the movie, the theatrical cut, the extended theatrical cut, and then the full director's cut, which runs 3 hours. Unfortunately, this 4K does not include the other 2 cuts, which I think is a huge missed opportunity because those 2 cuts are really interesting. There's some really cool added scenes in there, especially the beginning of the film, where it shows more of Sully's life on Earth and what he has to deal with and his depression and so on. And on Pandora, we even have a scene of a school that's been wrecked and slaughtered. So yeah, I really wish they would have included the director's cuts, at least a full director's cut on this, but they didn't, and so I'm definitely holding on to this. Also, there's a ton of special features that are included on this Blu-ray set that is not included on this 4K. So yeah, I'm keeping both of these. Now, when Avatar was announced on 4K, I thought, here we go again. Because I have been seeing posts on social media from people who just don't understand what this term means and the benefits of it. Saying that Disney completely effed this up. They effed up again. This is trash. And you know, the usual BS nonsense that people say. Why? Because people think the term upsampled or upscaled or upres, however you want to say it, is a bad word in the physical media community. They immediately think that this means the 4K is going to be garbage, it's trash, or one that I've heard a lot, people saying it's not real 4K, it's fake 4K, which to me is ridiculous and completely unfounded in any kind of truth. Sure, there are occasional bad transfers, upscales, but the majority of movies that are up-res from 2K to 4K look terrific. I can name off plenty of titles. One on the top of my head right now is Drive from Second Sight, where if I didn't know it was an upsample or upres, I would have thought it was a new 4K restoration. And today's movie of Avatar is a perfect example of how an upres from a 2K to 4K scan looks phenomenal. James Cameron personally oversaw the new 4K master using a new AI upsampling technology, giving Avatar a new 4K DI with the director-approved HDR10 and Dolby Vision grading, and also maintaining the IMAX aspect ratio of 1:7:8:1. The audio was also given a new remaster to Dolby Atmos, which I'll get into after the video review. Alright guys, so let's dive into the world of Pandora and see if this 4K UHD is really worth upgrading from your Blu-ray. And the results of this 4K upres is literally jaw-dropping. As soon as we glide over the trees of Pandora, my jaw literally dropped, and I sat there completely blown away by this 4K. That is absolutely breathtaking. The entire image is much cleaner, healthier, crisper looking, with outstanding dynamic range. The HDR10 and Dolby Vision grading really opens up the color gamut much wider here, where the image picks up even more visual enhancements with stronger, richer colors. And that bluish teal tint that James Cameron used in the film is completely maintained here. However, I did notice when comparing the 2010 Blu-ray to this 4K, the bluish tint looked a little skewed. Here on the 4K, the blues look more steely toned and more appropriate. The blue skin tone of the Navis also appears to have more shading than the previous Blu-rays, giving more warmth and life to the Navi characters. The color primaries, from cherry and crimson reds, bright yellows, full and lusher greens, have more delineation throughout, creating beautifully lush and vibrant colors. Hues are also more vivid and bold, and highlights look immaculate. The digital crafting also looks better here on the 4K and more striking. I mean, the entire video presentation just looks memorizing and stunning from start to finish. Skin tones for the live action scenes look about the same as the Blu-ray, and they're still warm and natural looking. Black levels, shadows, and shading are also improved on this 4K, drawing out even more information in the image than the Blu-ray had and showcasing better textures of colors. But I will say the biggest improvement with this 4K over the Blu-ray is with the abundance of details. This movie is just chock full of details everywhere, with razor sharp clarity, showcasing immaculate details with the practical objects, human characters, and even more so with all the CG effects. Objects, animals, and characters that look like they've been given a really nice facelift. There's finer details, such as with close-ups, that reveals all the textures and imperfections of skin, and also strands of hair that all look more cleanly defined. I also noticed more objects and activity in the background than I did on the Blu-ray, which is always a huge plus. All the plant life you can clearly make out, all the little imperfections and designs, and all the creatures and critters look much more lifelike and defined than I ever saw on the Blu-ray. For example, in the walls of the open pit mine, when the shuttle first lands on Pandora near the beginning of the film, you can clearly make out the leaves on the distant trees in the background. But a vast improvement over the Blu-ray that this 4K has is the amount of depth and three-dimensionality to the image that looks outstanding. It's absolutely incredible and very impressive, especially when you're comparing it to the Blu-ray. And it literally had me rewinding certain scenes a couple times to rewatch. It just looks absolutely incredible with the amount of depth that's on this. I saw the bit rate constantly ranging from around 85, peaking out at 120 Mbps. And there is a nice layer of thin grain throughout the film, giving a nice filmic appearance. Once you watch this, you'll never watch the Blu-ray again. Alright, now let's get into the audio presentation. And as I said, Avatar does have an audio upgrade from the 5.1 track from the previous Blu-ray. It's a new and improved Dolby Atmos track that was supervised by James Cameron, and the 5.1 track pales in comparison with this Atmos track. The track is rich and active all the way around, making full use of all the channels, including the height space that's taken full advantage of from rain, wind, leaves, and other environmental sounds. But the biggest area of improvement where the audio really opens up for is during the big final battle that explodes, giving your home theater a great workout, pushing it to the limits without ever sounding harsh or overpowering in any way. The bass and LFE is terrific, giving some really nice deep rumbles, such as when jets blast from the spacecrafts, heavy machinery, weaponry, gunfire and missile fire, and explosions galore. Has a lot of punch and weight to them that was just outstanding and shook my seat. Dialogue is rendered exceptionally clean and clear throughout, without any sound effects or music ever drowning out any part of the dialogue. Alright guys, so my overall score for Avatar 4K UHD presentation, I'm giving it a resounding 5 out of 5. I would give it a 10 out of 10 if that was my rating system, but it's not, so I won't. But guys, this completely wipes out the Blu-ray, making it look dated. This is an absolute fantastic 4K presentation of this beautiful film. Alright, but I'm really curious about your opinion here, so let me know over in the comments. When you look at the differences here between the two formats, the 2010 Blu-ray against the new 4K UHD, which do you think looks better? Or do you see any comparison at all? Let me know over in the comments. As always, guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me and talking about Avatar 4K UHD and comparing it to the previous released Blu-ray. And remember, keep physical media alive, and I'll see you next time.